President Joe Biden has issued a sweeping pardon for his son, Hunter Biden, in a move that has sent shockwaves through Washington and across the political spectrum. This decision comes despite President Biden's previous assertions that he would not interfere in Justice Department matters, raising significant questions about the implications for U.S. democracy, the judicial process, and political norms. Hunter Biden was convicted earlier this year on charges of illegally purchasing a firearm while misrepresenting his drug use and for tax evasion. These legal issues stemmed from mistakes he made during a period he described as his darkest days of addiction. Critics have alleged that his prosecution was heavily influenced by political pressure from his father's opponents. President Biden defended his decision to pardon Hunter, stating that the legal actions against his son were not only unjust, but also politically motivated. By pardoning Hunter, Biden effectively wiped clean all legal charges up to December 1st, ensuring his son would not face any future legal consequences stemming from these cases. This broad clemency stands out even among controversial presidential pardons in recent history. This decision represents a stark departure from Biden's earlier stance on respecting the independence of the judiciary. For years, the White House maintained that the president would not intervene in legal proceedings involving his son. However, this abrupt reversal underscores a deeply personal aspect of the presidency, as Biden's role as a father seemingly outweighed his commitment to non-intervention in judicial matters. The pardon includes all charges against Hunter Biden, covering both the gun-related offenses and tax evasion charges. It ensures that Hunter Biden will not face future investigations or prosecutions related to these allegations, even under a different administration. This blanket pardon has drawn comparisons to controversial clemency decisions in past administrations, but has also highlighted notable differences. Observers have drawn parallels between Biden's actions and those of former President Donald Trump. Trump famously pardoned several associates and family members of his allies, including the father of his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. However, Biden's pardon is broader in scope, erasing all legal consequences for Hunter Biden, a move even Trump avoided with his clemency decisions. This act has reignited accusations of political bias in the judicial system, with both Republicans and Democrats increasingly resorting to what critics call political lawfare. Republicans have expressed outrage, characterizing the pardon as a blatant abuse of power and a miscarriage of justice. This sweeping clemency decision raises broader concerns about the erosion of political norms in the United States. The use of presidential pardons to shield family members or allies from prosecution has become increasingly common, signaling a worrying trend for the integrity of democratic institutions. Critics argue that this decision undermines the jury's verdict and the findings of the court, setting a precedent that could have long-term consequences for the rule of law. It also highlights a growing trend of political leaders prioritizing personal or partisan interests over institutional integrity. President Biden's decision comes at the tail end of his presidency, a period often marked by controversial decisions as leaders face fewer political consequences. While Biden initially campaigned as a responsible leader committed to upholding the law, this decision raises questions about the consistency of that commitment. As democracy remains a central concern for voters, Biden's actions could shape future expectations of presidential conduct. With Donald Trump securing victories across Congress and returning to the White House, the stage is set for a potential escalation of such practices. Observers warn that these actions risk becoming a new norm, with both parties increasingly disregarding established democratic principles. The implications of this decision extend beyond the United States. As a global leader, U.S. actions often set a precedent for other nations. Political leaders worldwide may feel emboldened to follow similar paths, eroding democratic accountability on a larger scale. The state of democracy is a pressing concern not only for Americans but for people across the globe. The Biden administration's actions, coupled with Trump's looming influence, signal a critical moment for democratic institutions. Whether this marks a temporary deviation or a permanent shift remains to be seen. President Biden's pardon of Hunter Biden underscores the complex interplay of family loyalty, political power, and judicial independence. While some view this as a compassionate act of a father, others see it as a troubling misuse of presidential authority. As the dust settles, the decision will undoubtedly fuel ongoing debates about the future of justice and democracy in the United States. If you found this analysis insightful, make sure to like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel for more updates and in-depth coverage of political events shaping the world today.